everybody, it's Caitlin here from GBR Life. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, or just coming on back to visit me, this week's episode is about something awesome. But before I get into that, if you are interested in taking the guesswork out of life by finding out about reviews or parenting hacks, you've come to the right place. And this week, we're talking about 3 websites. I actually think it's best to call them tools. And the reason for that is because they're not only websites. Some of these options also have apps. And I think that's kind of awesome. So what am I talking about? I'm sure you know what you clicked on. Canva versus Adobe Spark versus Pixelied. Now, Pixelied I'd never heard of prior to doing a little bit of research, and then the other 2 I heard of many times, and I'm going to assume that most of you are in the same boat. Now, if you happen to not be in the same boat and you did know about the 3rd site I mentioned, well, then you are awesome because you happen to have known about something that not a lot of people know about. Not because it's not a great one, or I wouldn't have it on this list of which one should you pick, which one should you go for. It just means it's not as popular. So, if we get started, I do want to say, I do have the paid version of 2 out of 3. And that's simply because I actually use 2 out of those 3. I think it's pretty easy to guess which 2. Canva and Adobe Spark. And then today I joined into the awesomeness of Pixelied, but I did not pay for it. However, there is a paid option, but I don't think it is necessary for everyone. Now, I'm going to go into every single one of these sites, but I'm just going to do a quick preview into them. And the reason for that is because I'm going to also do breakout videos. I will have a video dedicated to just Canva, just Adobe Spark, and Pixelied. That way, you can see a true in-depth review of each and every one of them. So continue to come back to my channel, subscribe, and click on that bell icon if you want to see the rest of those videos. They will start next week. But first, let's compare right after my intro. So let's get into this. First and foremost, I'm going to go into Adobe because Adobe's well known because of Photoshop. And also, of course, if you use things like PDF, signing things, all that wonderful stuff. And I think that's how Adobe started. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's how they started. So Photoshop is also really awesome, but what I love about Adobe Spark is that it isn't really complicated. It's pretty easy to understand, pretty easy to use, and it does create some amazing stuff. And it has the same abilities that Canva does for the most part. And in some ways, I do see how it could be a little bit better in regards to the quality of work that you are going to actually create from there. It's the type of graphic design that will make you stand out because they have really good options. Now, I should first say that every single one of these graphic design tools have the options to have templates, graphics, icons. Elements is something that's same thing as icons, it's just the way that Canva calls it. And background removers, I mean, you name it, resizing, they all do it. But they don't all do it the same. And Adobe definitely has those abilities, definitely has those options. And the options are, they almost feel limitless. In the same way a few others may feel limitless. However, it doesn't integrate with a lot of other apps because Adobe really only works with Adobe. So while they have some great pricing plans and you have the opportunity of getting a lot of Adobe things all at the same time, which could be great for some people, to be able to pay about 20 bucks a month and be able to have access to Photoshop along with Spark and many other Adobe applications out there. And yes, there is plenty. So if you're an Adobe fan, it may be the option for you because they also have an app. Why that makes a difference is you can do all of the same things that you can do on your computer, but you're doing it with an app, and that's a huge deal. Or maybe you started a design and you couldn't finish it, and you have your phone with you and you can finish it on your app. So it does go along and save into its own cloud. So that's really nice too. And now the pricing is also not so bad. Of course, if you want to pay for it, I do believe there is a free, not necessarily a free option forever, but there is a free 30-day trial with Adobe Spark for sure. And the pricing, and the reason why I am looking over to the side is because I wrote down the prices, and it is the individual $9.99 a month, or you can get it annually for $99.99, so you could just say $100 a year, or you could go team, and that is $20 a month, or $240 a year. The actual price is $239.88, but let's stick to $240. So what do I not like about Adobe? Well, it's kind of the fact that they don't integrate as much. I really love the fact that Adobe works with Adobe. So if I wanted to use something like Photoshop, I could. But to be honest, there's so many other tools out there that are a lot more user-friendly in regards to things like Photoshop. And while it is amazing to be able to use Photoshop, I just think that it's really for those people who are using Adobe products. And I think Adobe Spark is amazing, and I still have my subscription, but I definitely do not prioritize it personally because of the fact that it has lack of integrations. And now let's take just a quick look inside of Adobe, and then you'll get a little bit more of an idea of what it looks like inside. Now remember, it is going to be a quick view because I will be doing a video that is way more in depth. So here we go. Okay, here we are inside of Spark, Adobe Spark. It looks pretty basic when you go inside of it, and I say that often in the sense that it's very user-friendly. You go in and it's nothing that is in your face confusing. It's actually in your face pretty easy. You pick exactly the type of template you are looking, and the type of template, when I say that, I really mean the size. These are not the templates, these are the size options. And if I were to go for an Instagram post, right from there, this always, that specific thing always says that. It's never changed, but you go directly into having template options. And if I were to choose a template, I'm just picking something random. And this is not as common to see the circle thing happen every time. I think that might be my internet connection versus Adobe Spark. But so here I am inside, and from here you can pick different type of text. You can pick photos, icons, design assets, pretty awesome, backgrounds, logos. I have GBR Life and I have Mama Koala, so I actually created a brand for both of my companies, and I think that's actually really awesome that you can do that inside of Adobe. You can, if you have multiple businesses, you can create more than one brand and add your logos. And then of course you can create a library, which is good. So basically your uploads. And then on the other side, when you have your template created, you have the option of changing the colors, adding animation, changing the background, resizing, say you picked the wrong size and you want to change that, or you need to be very specific and custom as you're doing the design and you realize that, or you're in the middle of doing the design and you need to create it multiple different ways, you can do that as well, and also change up the design. And when I press on that, you can see more of the actual brand that I happen to be on GBR Life, and this is my brand colors, and I also have the font, and if I press that, it'll put the logo on, and you can change up all of these like auto design, changing it up. And that's why I said that it's a little bit more professional. I feel as though it really has what you need to feel like you are a pro when it comes to specifically Adobe Spark. I think that is definitely something it has over all the rest. But this is Adobe Spark, just a quick look inside. Okay, so now that you have an idea of what Adobe looks like, let's talk about Pixelied. Pixelied, I just found out about today, and I really like it. And I went for the free version. The reason being is because their pricing has the option for free to do basic things, but also awesome things. Or you can go for the lifetime of $100, and that's not a bad price at all. But personally, because I know I already have Canva and Adobe, I may just be able to use this on the side for some other designs that I might want to use. And who knows, I may end up loving it more. Where I found out about it was actually a review of someone liking it more than Canva. Now, going into it, personally, I didn't see that it would be better than Canva, but I will say that it has some great options. Plenty of templates, a ton of photos, a ton of icons or elements if you're in Canva land, and just really good ways to create graphic design. And one of the things I really like about it is that it has a user-friendly, quick way of doing things. And what I mean by that is if I go into something like Adobe Spark, you've seen for yourself, you see a template and you have to select, and there's so many different options. And you can take a while actually creating your design, often because there's a lot of options and because it's almost piece parted. Whereas Pixelied is a little bit more it's very quick about things. It doesn't have as many options, so it kind of helps you about, it does help you out in that sense. But the other thing is, it has it in a very user-friendly now way of doing things. So, for example, when we're doing things for graphic design, for example, you're going to want to change your background of a banner in Facebook or in your Etsy store or something like that. And it has those specific options. While all of them have great options, and some of the options I may have already mentioned, it's mixed in with, again, a ton of different options on these other apps. These are very specific. You can customize your size if they don't have that, but it's like they may have 20 total that are very used, very much known, that people are going to want, and that is unbelievably helpful. It also contains, just like all the rest, a brand kit. And a brand kit is amazing so that you can automatically put in the things that you need for your brand, for your company, and every time you create a design, you can automatically kind of add your brand colors, your brand logo, things like that. And that's really nice. Now, what do I not like about Pixelied? Well, it is a little bit more basic. That's not a bad thing, like I was mentioning, because it doesn't give you as many options. You can do things a lot faster. Plus, the background remover tool is very fast, and you can definitely go in there, create a quick design, and be done with it, and then send it out everywhere you want, and it will still look very professional. However, I personally, with all of the things that I have to do, want a lot more options like Adobe Spark and Canva have. But I do think it's a great tool to have on the side, especially that free version of it. But it's only $100 a year for one purchase. I say it a year like that because I'm always a little bit weary of when I hear lifetime. Not because they'll ask you to pay more, but because they may ask in the future if you wanted to add more designs to your existing subscription, that you go ahead and pay another fee. That is something I have seen in the future. Seen in the past, not the future. That could happen in the, that could happen in the future. What I need is a drink. That could happen in the future with things that offer lifetime memberships or subscriptions. Now, that doesn't mean that is what is going on with Pixelied. I want to be clear, they did not say that, but I have seen that, and so just keep that in mind, that it could always happen in the future. But it's also a great idea if you only have $100 and you don't want to spend that every single year. Go for Pixelied. It is pretty good. Now, let's take a quick look inside so you can see it for yourself. Okay, here we are inside of Pixelied, and it gives you a Canva feel right off the bat, and that's something I actually really liked about it. Now, that being said, it does not give you immediately from here those options the way that you saw it on the screen for for Adobe, but it does give you the ability to select right from here what size you may be looking for. And then, it gives you a really good idea because you're looking directly over here. You know what the YouTube symbol is. You know what the Pinterest symbol is. And you can also see, as I'm doing this, there's more options immediately said to you that just make more sense. Like I was trying to say, is that what you are going to be creating designs for, what most people are going to be creating designs for, is exactly what you're seeing, even including Twitch. That does not mean that the other options don't have that, but it's nice that it tells you, like, this is what Twitch, that panel is going to need, or the banner is going to need, so that you can go ahead and create it. It just takes that guesswork out, and that is something that Pixelied did do, and I really like. And then, of course, you can go over to social media, so Facebook post, story, to show you the templates. And these are the actual templates. It seems like there's a lot of options, and there are. I did make it seem, I think, that there weren't as many, and there are definitely a good amount of options. It's just, I can tell from all my time in Canva and Adobe that there are less options here, but there are still plenty, and they do have a free option, and this is the free option. So I do think that it is a good idea for people to use this. Okay, there's the background remover. There is a limited amount that you can use based off of the type of subscription that you have. Doing some reading, they said that it's due to the fact that it is actually a third party that they use to do the background remover, but it is incredibly fast. So it's still a really good thing. You just have to limit, and the amount is not so horrible. I think it's maybe 200 for the free, and like, 400 or something for the subscription. So, or the lifetime, I'm sorry. A month. So that's actually not so bad, because if you know that you have a limit, you just make sure that you are using within that, and that may actually help you determine if you want the lifetime or if you want the free option. Okay, so let's go into creating a design. I don't want to decide on that, so let me select the same thing I selected in the last one, which is an Instagram post. And I'm going to go with that first template. And you see that it comes up. And the other thing I really like here is that you can go ahead and change, and it just tells you exactly what the resizing would be right there. I love that. And then of course you can search the actual templates right next to you. And then you have a lot of the same options, mockups. Well, mockups actually are not entirely the same. That would be inside of elements for Canva, and inside of, I think, icons. I don't remember the exact one, but it would be inside of like graphics or icons or something for Adobe Spark. But they do have these types of options, things like mockups as well. Text, images, brandify. Of course, you have the brand options, elements, icons, blend, and then uploading your own files. And then you can edit, some of the actual items on the template. You want to bring it forward, send it back, change the shadow, things like that. And then when you go to download, pretty easy, very similar to Canva in that it tells you right here, you just make a quick decision. But I don't really like, I do feel like it doesn't show you that you have as many options, even though it is the exact same way as Canva, so you could do transparent and so forth, but it just doesn't make it seem like you could when you're doing it. So I don't like that, because it's not very transparent. As I'm saying the word transparent, it's not very obvious that that's an option for you when you're looking at it. So this is what Pixelied looks like.
Now you've seen Pixelied. Now it's time for you to find out about my favorite and most people's favorite, Canva. Okay, here's the deal. I'm just gonna say it like this. Canva has everything. I don't know what it doesn't have. That being said, there's definitely some downsides to it. It's not perfect. There's been days that I go in there and the tool can be a little bit clunky. And I wish I didn't have to say that. It like glitches sometimes. But for the most part, it's worth the glitch, because it has all the things that you could possibly want and need. The same as Adobe Spark though. In Adobe Spark, I feel that it does look more professional than Canva does. Their options at least. However, I think that if you have an idea of what you're trying to do, for example, if you are able to look on things on places like Pinterest or just on the internet in general and have a general idea of how to make something look professional, you can definitely create that professional look right inside of Canva. Every time. I have created videos directly from Canva. I have created just practically everything in Canva. I do use it daily, but I also use Adobe Spark. And I know I keep bringing up Adobe Spark in my Canva talk, but it's because I do want to specify that they are just as good as each other. However, the integrations, I mentioned it while I was talking about Adobe Spark. Canva is integrated with basically everything. Every time I find a new tool, every time I find a new way of organizing myself with things like MailChimp or just shoot anything, I really don't know what Canva hasn't integrated with. They work with everyone. Social media management tools like Later or Hootsuite or Social Bee, Buffer, all of those places, they use Canva. You have the ability to integrate with them. Even Shopify, they're everywhere. And so it's really nice to be able to have a tool that you know that you have designs saved and you can automatically integrate it with all these other tools that you're using. And that is why I love Canva. Why do I not like Canva? Like I said, it can get a little glitchy and clunky. Now let's talk pricing. Okay, Canva is not a bad price either. but it definitely has a subscription and a free version. You can go free with Canva, but you will be limited on the different types of templates and designs. I do suggest that you go that free version. You can find out about it, even do a trial if you want to do of the Pro, because they do offer a 30-day trial of the Pro option so that you can see everything that it can actually do. And I think you're probably going to end up going from free into the Pro. Now, what is the actual cost of that? Okay, for Pro, it's $119.99 a year, or just say $120, or it is $100. It is $13 a month, and it has an app. So just like Adobe Spark, you have the opportunity to use your app at the same time that you are using the website. If you started in the website, you can finish it on the app. If you started on the app, you can finish it on the website. It is limitless in that sense. And so for that very reason, I'm going to go into the wrap up of all of this after we take a look inside of my favorite, Canva.
Okay, here we are inside of Canva. Also very easy to look at and say, okay, I want to do this, because it spells it all out for you right over here, asking you what you want to design. And this is sizing options, custom size, and then you have other size options over here, but they're just giving you a little bit more of an idea of what it might look like that you're looking for. Your designs, so these are some of the designs I've created. And then on this side over here, it shows you more options for you to get into your designs. And then like if you're doing content planning, but also if you are doing like the brand kit in order to create everything based off of your specific company, your logo, your colors, your font, and all that, that's over here, and your team stuff. And then of course up top you can get even further in the details. So pretty much Canva gives you an opportunity to go into this any way that you choose. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on Instagram posts so you can see the same thing that I did with Adobe Spark and see just the big differences that it looks like, and also how similar it really is, because you can see while Adobe Spark had things on two different sides, it is all really very much the same options, elements, or you can call those icons. But the elements will give you icons and photos and everything that you could possibly think of. Uploads, text, audio. Adobe does have audio option as well, even though you did not see that, but there is a way to add that. And videos you can add to your whatever you're creating, the things that you like. And then of course we get into integrations, because you can add Google Drive documents, and you can also go directly to some of the things that are integrated with Canva from Canva or from the other app or website into Canva directly from that website. In other words, you could go into MailChimp and use Canva directly in MailChimp, or you can use it directly through Canva. However, most of the time you are using it where you are in MailChimp, or you are in Later, or you are in Buffer or Socialbee, using it directly there versus inside of Canva and then sending it out to those places. So then you would just go and you'd add whatever it is that you want to add, and then you can download. It has different options on how you're going to download. There's nothing here, so they don't want me to download that, but if I just add this real quick and then I press download, I can now show you a bunch of different options. And again, Adobe had the same exact options, but I feel as though this is just easier to understand on the Canva side, exactly what those options are, and you know, if you want it transparent or not. This download section is just very easy to understand. Okay, so that is Canva. Now that you've seen inside of Canva, but you've also seen inside of Adobe Spark and you've seen inside of Pixelied, you can determine for yourself what you like. What do you want? I've mentioned plenty of times why I do and don't like it, each and every one of them, and I've also mentioned why personally I use certain ones over the others. But everything that I said is based off of what I know of these websites and apps, and what works best for me, not what would work best for you. So, if you need to rewatch this video and look at every single one of these again, please do so and take your pick. But I do suggest that you actually take your pick with one of these because they change the game. There are apps out there who will create things with templates and take the guesswork out of a lot of things, but they will never be as good as what you can be. And the reason I say this is because, yes, you have to pay money to get some of these, but you can also go the free route with, a few options, or go 30 days and maybe get a side job and get that extra. But the reason is because when you can create things quickly and easily by yourself and get it out to social media, including things like Canva also has scheduling, kind of a big deal. And then there's other tools for that as well. But you have the opportunity to really put your brand, your name, your stamp on everything exactly the way that you know and you need it, especially if there's an app that you can create it and quickly go and get it out there. It does change the game for your business. Okay. So now that you have all of the ideas for all of these things, I hope that answers all of your questions. But remember, there will be a video on each and every one of these. So for the next 3 weeks after this video, there will be a video. So please, about Canva, about Adobe Spark, and about Pixelied. So please come back and check out those videos. And if you have any questions about the specifics, please let me know and we'll discuss. And I will get back to you, of course, directly in the comments, or I'll answer it directly in the videos about whatever it is. And what I mean by that is I do reviews. So if you have anything that you'd like me to review, let me know and I will review it. Now, that all being said, remember, this is Caitlin, GBR Life. It is a blog, vlog, a podcast, and I've got a clothing line. And I am wearing one of my designs right now, mamakoala.com, or you can check out more of my stuff, that vlog, you're on the vlog right now, but the blog or the podcast on gbrlife.com. And until next week, I can't wait to talk to you all soon. Bye.